Hi, Logan. Welcome back. I'm glad that you chose to come back and see me. Before we get started, I just wanted to remind you of our confidentiality pact that you and I share, where you're welcome to talk about anything that you're feeling or anything that you're experiencing, and I will keep that between just you and I, except for if you decide to tell me about wanting to hurt yourself or hurting someone else. Do you remember that?
I do.
Excellent. You still agree with that pact?
Yeah.
Perfect. I just like to make sure that we're on the same page. So the last time that we met, you shared about your concerns with your father and stepmom.
Yes, I did.
And I remember that was something that was really emotional for you. Is that something that you want to talk about today, or do you have a different concern for today?
You know, honestly, I'm more concerned about my high school right now. I've been having a pretty hard time just in classes in general, and I've been getting a lot of, kind of feels like unfair treatment from my teachers because they've known that I used to get good grades, and now I struggle a little bit, and so I say, oh, you're not doing as good as you could be.
So you're going to a school where the teachers saw you perform better in the past, and now you feel like they kind of have that same expectation of you?
I don't think the expectation is bad, but I think it's difficult for me because the classes are harder now, and they expect me to be able to replicate exactly what I did a couple years ago.
Which classes are you taking that you feel are harder?
This math class. It's applied business math. It's a lot of formulas, and I have a difficult time with figuring out formulas.
I can understand how that would be frustrating, especially if you were used to having good grades. What are your grades like right now?
I'm not failing anything, but they're very mediocre, like C's, B's, C's, and D's.
And what were you used to getting?
A's or B's.
That is significant difference. What is your concern about getting lower grades?
I don't know. I don't want to miss out on any scholarship opportunities for college.
So you're interested in going to college?
Very much so.
What sort of field do you want to go into? Do you know?
Well, you know, I really want to go into theology.
Oh, okay. All right. Have you talked to any of your high school teachers or counselors about your concerns?
Not really. It's been mostly in this last week that this has started. But, I mean, I definitely could talk to them, and I'm sure they could help me out.
It would make sense to communicate. I remember from our last meeting that you're a really good communicator, and you're really good at explaining how you feel. And I remember also complimenting you, and I'd like to compliment you again, that not all young people have that skill.
Yeah,
you look like you wanted to share something. Go ahead.
No.
So how else are things going?
Well, I didn't get in trouble at my dad's house this week. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I was gone most of the time.
I don't mean to smile, but I remember being a teenager.
Yeah.
So you didn't get in trouble this week, and you think that that's because you weren't home?
I think that's part of it. There was no time for me to be in trouble.
Does it feel better that you weren't?
Oh my goodness. It felt like 1,000 pounds were lifted off my shoulders.
Good. Well, since our sessions are supposed to last between 5 and 10 minutes, and currently we're at about 4.5, do you have any other concerns that you'd like to share before I kind of wrap this up for the week?
Oh, yeah. I'm not able to run in my cross-country race next Saturday because I couldn't get to my doctor fast enough to get a doctor's note because I had to participate this Wednesday in my cross-country meet. So now I don't get to run next Saturday, and I'm really disappointed about that because it's really a big part of my life.
That sounds frustrating.
Oh, it really is. I mean, it's hard to go watch everybody else, and I've worked so hard this year for my varsity spot, while somebody else who really, not gonna say doesn't deserve it because I threw it, but somebody else who isn't quite as fast as me cross country wise is gonna get my spot.
And why aren't you able to run?
Well, because I pulled a couple muscles in my legs, and they just haven't been the same for a while, and I still have to go to the doctor and get the doctor to sign off on it.
Understood. Sports injuries are probably pretty frustrating.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Logan, again, I'm really grateful that you came in today. I'm glad that we got to touch on the situation with your dad and stepmom again. I'm glad that you had a better week with them. And also, I'm glad that we got a chance to kind of talk about your frustration that's going on at the high school with the way that you feel you're being treated and the challenge with that math class. Maybe that's something that we can talk about again. I also appreciate that you shared about your running. I can see that that's something you really care about, and I share your disappointment that you didn't get to run at the end of this season. It sounds like that was really a big loss for you. So, like I said, I'm really grateful that you came in, and I hope to continue working with you. Thank you.
Thank you.